Test, test, test.
Got it. Got it. Hold it. Power on. That's all you gotta do. You gotta hold it.
Gotta hold it. Good. All right.
Sorry. Pouring in. Mike in the back. We were trying to get a mic stand and get a phone and yeah. You're not gonna hear it up here.
Okay, good morning. Hello, hello.
That's not
Nothing?
Nothing. Hey, that's not working.
Oh,
It won't work for this. It's just the online. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
okay, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Please have a seat. Okay, settle down, settle down. Yeah, that's weird. Okay, sorry, I gotta use the microphone there for the online people. Okay, so hey, good morning. I want to say good morning to all the department members. Good morning to the families of Captain Crandall, Captain Jeppson, Captain Wilson, Captain Lampe. Thank you all for being here today in the Public Safety Building. This is an important day in the fire service, right? We get a chance to celebrate the accomplishments of these four individuals as they move on to the next stage in their department. So we appreciate you being here to celebrate with us. Today we're going to start with the captains, and then we'll move to the promotion of the battalion. Okay. I'm going to turn the time over to the Department Chief, Carl Lee. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Fox. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you. That was nice. I don't think anybody's ever responded. It's like recruit school.
Listen, these are great days. We love these promotional ceremonies. This one's been a long time coming. We haven't promoted chiefs specifically for several months now. And there's a reason for that. We don't just, delay for the sake of delay, but, they've been preparing for this process. It takes time. They've taken the test. They've done the interviews, the management exercises, the administrative skills that they need to have. In some cases, they have no education. But really, the four people that have been preparing for this moment their whole careers. Our organization is not so large that we don't know everyone. We watch them, we see them. Everyone has challenges, everyone has strengths. But the ones that are going to lead eventually, they become pretty apparent pretty early on. And this is a good organization to be a leader in. Salt Lake City Fire Department has a great reputation, not only in the state, but across the community. We're innovative, we're creative, we're not afraid to try something new, and that sets us apart a little bit. And we're really good at what we do. We operate, as everyone knows, in some really sketchy environments sometimes. We need leaders who are competent. We need leaders who have good judgment. I need leaders who can inspire people. And I need leaders who are going to prioritize our most valuable resource, which is firefighters. We have a mission to accomplish. It's not always easy, but we want to end the way we want to see it. We're looking for a chance. That's the expectation from the community. And that's the four people we promote today are going to help us accomplish that mission. And we can compliment those people on the left here, all the confidence in the world in them. And I'm pretty sure they're holding back, standing, watching the ceremony, also similar confidence. So we won't delay that any longer. Let's get them up here. Let's learn a little bit about them. We'll have their peers or some mentors say some words about each candidate, and then I'll swear them in, and we'll get this done and get them on the way.
Okay, firefighters, Captain Matt Wilson.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm super honored to be able to speak on behalf of Matt Wilson. I've got a chance to work with Matt in different aspects of his career, different aspects of my career. The very first time was his first day on the job. Paul Cadis and I were senior firefighters at the time, aspiring captains. We were both adjuncts with Les Goodwin, who was the training captain, so welcome to the fire service there. And then we had Jay Davis out there, and Matt was in class 36. He had a great class. It was kind of a small class. We got to spend a lot of time with these individuals, a lot of reps. And Matt wasn't always like the super respectful, well-spoken person. He had some rough edges. He had some rough edges coming into recruit school. And one of those situations was later in when things were he was getting a little more comfortable. It was high-rise week, kind of later in recruit school. Super high tensions, high emotions. We were all tired. I know you remember this, Paul. We were on the 5th floor doing a hot wash, picking up hose, and Matt used the J word. He called another recruit a jerk face. He said, jerk face. And that silenced the whole floor. I had never heard anybody call another person jerk face in my life. I didn't know to be mad or embarrassed for him. So being the aspiring captains that we were, Paul and I nipped that in the bud real quick. We were like, no, sir, we do not use language like that in the fire service. So, and then cut to by the end of camp, Jake Laskowski, one of the solo recruits, had stickers that said jerk face. We all had jerk face on our trucks by the end of the day. So Matt was a little bit famous for that. He named a lot of things in recruit school. He was little buddy with the sloth pipe. He loves to verbalize kind of what he's doing, even during workouts. He's like, hey, little buddy. Now that piece of equipment in the gym had a name, and that was thanks to Matt Wilson. But Matt's like one of the most genuine stand-up guys that I think I've ever met. After that, he went on to go right into 8B with Captain Dennis Sharp and Captain Wyman Bird. Another welcome to the fire service moment for Matt, but it was great. He grew from it. We learned from it. He was at 2C with me for a little while. He was at 1C as an HRT tech and truck firefighter as well there. So he spent a lot of time downtown, and he really loved operations. But one of the areas I think Matt shines probably the most, and there's so many different ways to contribute with the Salt Lake City Fire Department. We have all the different divisions. We're reaching out to other partners and stakeholders in the city now more than ever. And that is through some of our work in the divisions as well as what we do in the field. And that has been community health on the community health team in the medical division, who's played a big role in emergency management, which just keeps growing and improving and keeps making those connections. And then now, what he's doing now in an officer position in the community relations division, running our entire cadet program and keeping those partnerships and those relationships growing. So that's one of the areas where he excels, and I'm confident he's going to continue to excel. He's a great face of the department. He speaks well for us. He represents us well, and he knows how to connect with people outside of the meeting. And then the other thing I think that highlights Matt, that I'm so confident in him moving forward as an officer, is the way he connects with people inside our agency. He's done outstanding work with the peer support team for years now. He's so proactive with that, both for us and other agencies. He's gone out of his way to go to other agencies with some of the loss we've had in the last 6 to 9 months, which has been tough on the community, and he's always there. He's there for our fire service community, and he's there for our members inside, being not only those roles in peer support, but just those daily connections. Like if you need someone to really listen to you and maybe talk something out, or kind of look at the logic side of it, or maybe simmer down your emotions, or whatever it is, Matt's the person for that. And he's fantastic at that. We've had, since I've been in my current role in the last several years, we've had a lot of deep conversations in the office where he say, hey, can I do your ear for a little bit? And he really thinks about our people, and he really thinks about the future of our organization as well. So I can't be more proud of you, Matt. It's so cool to see where you've come from day one to where you are now. And I just have all the confidence in the world to be an officer, and yeah, I'm happy for it.
want to miss anybody, so I took a couple of notes. I just want to express my gratitude, say a word about gratitude and belonging. First of all, thank you for the administration and chief for the trust that is placed in me right now, and I don't take that for granted. And looking around at the folks in operations right now, people I work with, it was an unreal moment, but a moment I'm very excited to see that happen for you. My mentors, Rob, certainly known them, but so many others to learn from on the job. Crewmates I've learned from everybody along the way, some more than others. And hearing from Richfield and that, especially. Having my parents, my mom, in-laws, family in town, my family that's not able to make it. I feel your support and love, the pride that you're sending my way, and I'm so grateful for the way that I was raised to value service to the community and seek out jobs that never were the same from one day to the next, and led me to the same thing. Before I get to my crew at home, I want to just shout out my study buddies. One of them's here, but the other two fellows know who they are. This process is arduous, and they name it tough, and we really have to play it out, and I like to be out our own thing to the management. It was a great experience. Kathleen and my guys, ride or die from the start. I really appreciate all the support that's given. Not always easy, and it's not really and just a word on belonging in this job. When I first started out, I didn't know where to stand in the station. Everybody seemed so dialed and awesome. Everybody had inside jokes when I first showed up, and I felt really on the outside. And I think that's normal and that's by design, that you're uncomfortable and you really put your head down, put in the work, and earn your spot. And that's real, and that's important. But I will never forget folks in my career, especially the early days. It might surprise you that retired Chief Goodman was among them. But he really saw me, and he reached out and let me know that I was included. I was a part of it. And I felt like even if I wasn't sure, and somebody had the crew that had been around a minute, said, hey, you got this, you belong. That was a big deal for me. And I think our culture is really special that way. It's part of that knowledge, you bring people along, and I look forward to being a part of that leadership, passing along the wonderful knowledge and skills we have here, and that's really cool. Okay, soon-to-be Captain Jim Lampe, come on up. Speaking for Jim will be Captain Dallas Sharp.
So I'm really excited to be able to be standing in the for the first time and being able to actually be able to come to the I've been interacting my way all the way, all the different things that go on we talk about, and just highlight go on dedication and going with, really the true dedication that I want to talk about is dedication to the 3 a.m. singing and the apparatus when it's captain is really dialed. 3 a.m. is the time I think that ACDC and all the other bands we felt it out, nice strong baritone. That seems to be the time for us to do that, and his partners are all pretty helpful with that. I really that. But actually, the dedication is just going through it, working in truck agency, they will be there on a couple of hours for the paramedics. Going from paramedic to music, we're working through our methods of, everybody here really appreciates what we they have to take on and teach a lot of the people here in the back area and on the job, build those programs out and actually teach those classes above and beyond all the other things that we have to do in that community. But then he also still built all the things for all of us and built some probably best of the target solutions that I've ever seen. Some of the finest ones that kind of go on. If you haven't seen them at the end, guys, you're really doing yourself a favor and go back and just turn a couple of holes on and really enjoy and see what you might have brought to them and you'll be happy. And then he came out and we were able to work with the station one for a while out, and then I was able to climb over and back to the station and do probably more. But I'll take care of it. And just all those different positions and roles, with the way that you guys did across Austin and Matt, I never visited this. It's pretty humbling. I thought it was really, really proud of the way that you took this on and really did that. Just a high level of the expectation that you hold for yourself. I was kind of thinking about it, the high bar of the expectation you hold for yourself and the level that you meet that. I think that brings everyone else that works with you up to that level. I think they strive to be better when they work with you. I think that's something that you should be very proud of. I have noticed it across just the different positions that you have. I really did notice it at Station 8 working with you. Just how much you brought everybody up. And I really appreciate it. It's going to be a big hole, and we're going to really see where you're going. I'm excited to see it move on to your next position and do well.
Follow my standards and values of this office. Protect the lives and property. All the national serve. Congratulations, guys.
So many great leaders on this department. It's an incredibly progressive department, and I thank Chief Lee and all the command staff for the examples that they've given us and allow not only firefighters but captains to be able to lead and to do their job. They entrust us with a lot, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for all the learning opportunities I've had. I too had Chief Goodwin, Chief Stedman, also my training officers. Learned a ton from those guys. They helped me to lay a good foundation for what it means to be a firefighter and a leader in this profession. Arnie and Channing at Station 8 were also great captains that also were great mentors to me as well. I've worked with a lot of different captains, and most recently Dallas, who you just saw, Dallas Sharp, Captain Sharp, and Gary Minlove, Captain Gary Minlove, have been fantastic captains. They took extra time calling me on days off and talk to me about what I need to do, what I need to work on to get promoted, and just provided a great example of how captains should conduct themselves professionally and at the highest levels that reflect the values that we have in this department. So I am incredibly grateful for that. And I just appreciate every opportunity I've had. I've had a lot of opportunities to work in different roles, and I've always felt like the more things I can do, the more value that I can add to the department. And so just gratitude beyond words is just the word that just kept coming back to me. So, and the belonging side that you mentioned too is super important. We all feel like family here. We love each other. My crew at Station 8, Johnny, thanks for everything, man. And my bro, Johnny, took me under his wing from day one and really kind of mentored me. So I appreciate you, bro. I love you. I love everybody on that crew. We have a great crew. Scott's coming up. He's going to be a captain soon. I'm excited about that. So we're just super excited. I'm excited. A lot of guys I've worked with. Ryan Kapinski's here. He helped kind of get me through recruit school because he had some prior experience. And I had absolutely none. So he kind of was like, I'm going to help this guy out here. He needs it. So anyway, I just wanted to express again my gratitude to the entire department, everybody that I'm working with, and appreciation. And especially I want to express gratitude for my wife. She kind of pushed me initially. I was like, I don't want to do this right now, or she's like, yeah, you want to do this right now. Yes, this year I guess I want to do this right now. So, but I'm grateful that she did. She pushed me. She was going through her master's degree program at the same time, so there was a lot of simultaneous studying going on. But it's been great. My whole career, she's been there for me and encouraged me, and I think she's just as proud of this as I am. So I wanted to say thank you to everybody.
All right, before we move on, let's give one more round of applause to Captain. Okay, we'll move on to those getting promoted to Battalion Chief. And first up will be soon-to-be Battalion Chief Steve Crandall. And this is a long time coming. I just want to say I'm super happy to be one of the last people to say Captain Crandall. Please come up. Speaking on behalf of Captain Crandall will be Battalion Chief Brendan Shumway.
I want to congratulate the two captains. First and foremost, good job. I've been able to sit down and hang out with them a little bit, and they're great additions, and one permanent addition to my division, so I'm super happy about that. His wife is too. And before I talk which one of your parents gives the candy out at the Is that you? So they live in the avenues, and we have a fuel station that we take our mix to fuel up, and she'll run across the street with candy and hand it out, so I just want to say thank you. Okay, let me get out my notes. I was at home last night, and my wife, Ashley, asked me, have you written down your thoughts? And I said, yes, I've written them down. She's like, good, you don't want to be one of those people that ramble, so here I go. Steve Crandall is not a secret to any of us really in this room. We all know what he's about. We all know what he's done for our department. And I've had the honor, and I've been really lucky to have him out at training with me for the last 2 years to kind of help me through that transition as a fairly new battalion chief. And I've just been super grateful that he's sort of been there with me throughout this whole thing. So I just want to go back maybe 18 or 19 years. I was a new firefighter. I I was assigned to Station 5 with Captain Crandall and Captain Christopherson at the time. And it was my second station, so I get to spend 6 months with them. I had heard like sort of the legends of Steve, but I didn't, and I had never met him at that time. But they sort of had an all-star crew up there. They had not only Captain Crandall, Captain Christopherson, they had now Chief Fox, Captain Weaver, Tom McKay, Captain Jeppson, Captain Brian Meyer, Captain Calvin Christiansen, and Engineer Jake Werner. So it was this all-star cast, and the cool thing about being up there at that time was I got to sort of be involved, or at least on the outside, I got to watch most of them prepping for the upcoming captain's process. And so I got to see firsthand Steve and his mentorship and what he meant to them. And that was just a small sliver of the people that he's affected and mentored within this department. So fast forward, I was the training chief, and I was sitting in Chief Lee's office, and they said, yeah, we're going to send you to B platoon first, and then we're going to send you out to training. And I knew Steve was there. And I was a little bit nervous what I was going to do with a firefighter or a fire captain with 30 plus years of experience, whether there's going to be some pushback from him, how the relationship is going to be, and how it was going to be to have him as sort of a subordinate. And it was nothing but professional, and I can't tell you how appreciative I am that he was not only professional, he worked hard, he was knowledgeable, he wanted to continue to learn, which in this role, if you think as a battalion chief or as a captain, you've like peaked or you've made it, you got the wrong idea of what these positions are. We have to continue to learn, and I can feel the weight that this position has on Steve, and I don't think he's felt that way for a really long time within our department. So I'm just really excited. I want to talk a little bit, and then I'll end with how I felt like he decided to take this role. So I'm out there, and every Thursday, Steve was online at home after work looking for jobs, and he just wanted to take advantage of the retirement system. He wanted to take advantage of his wife needing to work a few more years, and he would look for outside jobs. And every Monday we'd come back, we'd ask him, all right, did you find anything? No, I didn't find anything, or this is a little intriguing, or that. And the whole time, I was kind of busting his chops. Well, why don't you just take the BC process? Like, that'll boost your retirement, and you're a leader within our department. People respect you. I think you'd be fantastic. And it just got kind of shrugged off for a long period of time. And then every Thursday in the training division, we go out as a group and we have lunch together. We like to go to Cafe Rio. I think Steve likes to go to Cafe Rio because they give us a little bit of a discount. And this particular Thursday, it was just me and Steve for whatever reason. We were alone together and we were talking. And this is the way I remember it. I brought it up one more time. I was like, Steve, come on, man. You should do this. I think you would be fantastic. For the first time, he said, you know what, I've actually been thinking about it. But I just want to make sure that I have something to offer the department. And it was all I could do not to like laugh in his face and like fall on the floor laughing, because we all know what he's done for our department as well as what he can continue to do for our department. So that was sort of the beginning to the end. He made a decision. He studied extremely hard. And this is well deserved. So I want to be the first to congratulate you. Well done. We're going to miss you in training, but I'm happy for C Platoon. They're lucky to have you.
I, Steve Crandall,
Do solemnly swear and affirm,
do solemnly swear and affirm,
faithfully and honestly,
to faithfully and honestly
perform all of my duties in the Salt Lake City Fire Department
perform all of my duties to the Salt Lake City Fire Department Battalion
to the best of my
to
ability,
the best of my ability,
to ensure the safety and well-being
to ensure the safety and well-being
of those I am entrusted to lead,
of those I am entrusted to lead,
to uphold and follow
to uphold and follow
the high standards and values of the Salt Lake
the
City,
high standards and values of the Salt Lake City Fire Department,
and to protect the lives and property
and to protect the lives and property
of the public I am sworn to
of the
serve.
public I am sworn to serve.
Congratulations, Chief.
rest of my peers today, the word is gratitude for me. This has been a long time coming. I have resisted. Chief and I have had a lot of conversations, but I'm grateful. More grateful than I can state. A number of months ago, I met with Chief Lee, and I asked, and I met with the deputy chiefs as well. Is there a spot for a 35-year fire department captain in your ranks? And I didn't know what they would say, actually, to be honest. And I know. Mike's right. It's not true. But Chief Lee said absolutely. He was so encouraging, and that really kind of shifted my paradigm. And I'm just grateful. I'm so thankful. I'm thankful to the deputy chiefs. Thankful to you, Chief, for this helmet and the opportunity and the trust you have in me and my abilities to work in this department. I would be remiss if I didn't call out a few people. And I don't have a list, but in my brain I have people that I want to thank personally. Chief Carl Stedman. 34 years ago, I walked into Station 6 with kind of a Island of Misfit Toys crew a little bit, under the leadership of Gail Potter, one of the greatest captains I had an opportunity to work for. I think Carl would agree. And Carl took me under his wing and helped me. And like Matt expressed, taught me where to stand, where to sit, what to do, and what not to do. And has since been a great personal friend of mine and a mentor of mine, and was my battalion chief for a very, very long time. And I learned how to be a chief from Chief Stedman, so I hope to continue the legacy that you have taught me. So I'm grateful for your friendship, Carl. And I'm glad I'm here with you now. I also can't thank enough some of the younger battalion chiefs, Chief Halverson and Chief Schreiner. Almost from the day they got promoted, similar to Chief Shumway, pressed me to test. And every single conversation I had with Jared and even with Halvey was like, yeah, enough about me, meaning them. What are you going to test? What's wrong with you? Get going. And then they offered help and insight and guidance and leadership. And they shared the things that they had learned in the process. And that meant so much to me. And I felt so grateful for their kindness and for their willingness to share information. Not just about the test process, but about how to be a chief. So grateful for both of you. Thank you so much. And Chief Shumway, his recollection is similar to mine, but maybe he won't recall the very first meeting we had in training. He kind of sat down with me. We went over special operations, what I was doing, what he wanted me to do, and then he just said, "What are you doing? Like, kind of like, you should be a chief. Why are you here?" And then he was relentless in his pursuit, and kind, and forgiving of my mistakes and shortcomings that I'm sure I made in training. And he was instrumental in helping me make this decision, and then help me prepare, not only for the process, but to be a chief. I'm going to also thank the members of the Salt Lake City Fire Department Heavy Rescue Team. I have some great friends on that team. And I have two of my really good friends and captains here today. And they're not here for me, they're here for the promotion, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank the members of that team that endured my mistakes, my shortfalls, my passion, my zeal for 2.5 decades as we crafted that team. And now I am no longer a member of that community. And I leave that community to the capable hands of some men I love and trust. And then lastly, I have to thank my wife. It's great to marry her. She's older than I am. My leg goes up every time we kiss. It's awesome. I stand on the step at night, so I can kiss her. It's awesome. I'm just so grateful for her kindness to me and her willingness to support me. She has let me do work at home, has let me spend our own family money as I pay for my own way to do training over the last 35 years. And she has always been there without failure in my life. And I love you, Rashawn. I'm grateful for that. And I'm just grateful for this opportunity. And I would be remiss also if I didn't thank Zach. I didn't really know Zach when he came to the training division. But he's become a great friend of mine. And I'm so glad, Zach. I have to admit, when you said, Kim Mouse said, hey, I'm going to test the chief, I wasn't very glad. I was like, oh, come on, really? And, but then within 30 seconds, thanks for studying with me, Zach. Thanks for being my friend. I've learned to love Zach. He'll make an amazing chief. And his insight into the MOU, into city politics and all that kind of stuff helped me prepare. I'm glad for his selfless ability to share his insights, and that will help me be a better chief and help me perform better. So thanks, Zach. You're a great friend of mine. And again, thanks, Chief, and thanks for all of you for coming. Hopefully I won't be a jerk face. I'll do the best I can to avoid that after you. Yeah, it's true. But thank you so much for coming in. And I haven't been uncomfortable in the fire service for a long time, and I'm a little uncomfortable. And so this will be good. So thank you. Adding to the better haircuts of this operation. Drop your hand. No. Here. Here, sir. Here. Oh, it's okay. I don't read the haircuts.
All right, before we move on, just a quick PSA, no more jerk face, it's a family show. Okay, Captain Zach Jeppson, come on up, please. And speaking for Zach Jeppson, will surprise the Lieutenant Chief Brendan Shumway.
Yeah. No, I'm happy to be here. I just got lucky with having two people that I've sort of grown up with and been able to work with periodically throughout my career, get promoted on the same day. So, Zach Jeppson, some people would say that we're sort of opposites in the way that we go. Partners, we were paramedic partners at Station 7 years and years ago. We spent 5 or 6 years together in the backseat, run calls, and he deals with things very different than I deal with things, and vice versa, and all that stuff. But for whatever reason, we sort of meshed as friends, and we had each other's back, and we studied for the captain's process together. And of course, he came out on top for number 2 on his list. And it was well deserved, and I had to wait to the next list. So it was one of those humbling moments for me, but I was very excited for Zach and what he had to sort of offer the job. We go fishing together. We spent hours and hours and hours in a tiny little 2-man tent on a frozen strawberry lake fishing, talking about the job, talking about wanting to move to Montana, talking about the department as a whole. And so I'm just incredibly grateful for his friendship. He's always been very supportive of me and sort of my career path. And there's a couple things that I want each of you to know about Zach. And Zach's a pretty scary individual. Not to me, but maybe to some of you, maybe to some of the people that were in his recruit classes. So he's had 2 opportunities to come out to training. He was a newly promoted captain, and he was put in that position, so he had 2 recruit classes, and then went back out into operations. For some reason, went back to Station 7, which is a punishment in and of itself. It was very busy. North Temple was just so busy, and he spent a lot of time there. And then I think he was done, and he came to me, and I had a position open for a training captain in training, and he said he was going to put in for it, and I was a little bit excited, but also a little bit apprehensive about that because too much time together can lead to issues sometimes, and it was never an issue, and he was always professional. He always supported me in the decisions I made. He never talked back. He never did anything like that, which a very good sort of best friend on the job would do, right? And I would never have held it against him, but he never did that. He worked his tail off. He got class 57 graduated, and so they're out in combat right now. So He's a stand-up guy. He's not as scary as he looks. He does smile. I just want to tell you a couple things about his character and the way he is by being his paramedic partner at Station 7 over the years. So obviously, he's extremely hardworking. I swear he's worked 2 full-time jobs the first maybe 10 years of his career. He's got a company on the weekends that he goes and does construction. So extremely hardworking. He's smart. Anything he puts his mind to, he does it well, and he does it better than at least me. And so I always looked up to him for that. He's got a great mind. He reads a lot, and so that helps. I could never outwork him on a fire, and that may be my greatest regret as a firefighter for Salt Lake City, is he would always outwork me. And so I always felt like I was playing catch up with him. He would put his turnouts on faster in the back of the engine. He would get out of the engine quicker. He would grab the hose quicker. And anybody here that knows, you're just kind of a loser if you're the backup. So I was the loser quite a lot at Station 7, but I admired him for doing that, and I always tried at least to play catch up. He dedicated part of his life to represent the job and each of you, and I think that can't go unsaid right now. So he was the union president for a lot of years and got you a contract, and always answered his phone, even if he was in the middle of a conversation with me or whoever. He always answered his phone. So I think there's a little bit of a weight lifted off his shoulders with that, but also that weight comes with being a battalion chief as well. Last but not least, for as strong and hardworking as Zach is, he's got weak joints and ligaments. He's had more surgeries, I feel like, than I can count. And he's got weak thumbs, believe it or not. I don't know how that happens. So at Station 7 and through a lot of the stations here, periodically, in a safe manner, we'll have to go hands-on with violent patients or patients that come out of an overdose that don't quite know where they're at. And it seems like every time we had to do that in the back of the ambulance, he would hurt his thumbs. So I think the last time I just said, Zach, sit this one out. I got it. So, like I said, he came to training to be my training captain. And Zach and I went to grade a battalion chief process for one of our surrounding fire departments. And they were great candidates. And I think we left that, me as a battalion chief, him as a captain. And I think we both thought, well, why not you? You were as capable, if not more, than anything that we sat in front of that day. And I think that at least got the gears going. And, I got on him a couple times, but then I kind of just let it go. I wanted him to know that I was supportive, but also I didn't want to force him into this role. And so here we are. He studied hard. He got in and started studying maybe only a couple months before the actual process and test, which is hard to do, but he did it. He worked hard. He worked on the weekends. We had sessions together. We talked about a lot of things about what it means to be a battalion chief and how to do it the right way for Salt Lake City. So I want to be the first to congratulate Zach. Good job, it's well deserved. Thank you.
I, Zach Jeppson, do solemnly swear and affirm, faithfully and honestly, perform all of my duties in the Salt Lake City Fire Department Battalion Chief. To the best of my ability. To ensure the safety and well-being. Of those I am entrusted to lead. To uphold and follow. The high standards and values of the Salt Lake City Fire Department. To protect the lives and property. The public I am sworn to serve. Congratulations, Chief.
I've learned in a handful of labor management meetings with the chiefs is they hate long meetings where the same thing gets said more than once. So I'm going to be extremely brief. Thank you, People Tune, for letting me be a part of your family for the last better part of 18 years. I've had more fun and laughed harder than I've ever laughed in my life sitting around the kitchen table at Station 7. Training Division, thank you for letting me come out for the last year, let me be part of your family out there and learn and help me get ready for the process and get ready to be a battalion chief. And then finally, my family, thank you for all of your love and support, especially my beautiful wife Amanda, who is now dealing with my 4th schedule change in the last 6 months. She rolls her eyes a lot, but she always supports me. And then just so everybody knows, now that I officially outrank her, I'm back to wearing the pants.
All right, one more round of applause for everybody. Okay, that concludes the promotion ceremony today. Thank you again for coming to support these candidates as they move on in their careers. Safe travels wherever you're going back. There are refreshments. Please stick around, have some, and get some pictures. Thank you again.